toughest group of answerers we've had since we started our studies, but I think we're going to get through it. And we're just going to dive right in. This has been an interesting study. I don't know if anybody else found this. I looked through several commentators, and sometimes it appeared that that what we're trying to answer, the commentators weren't necessarily focusing on some occasions, but sometimes the answer is just extremely clear cut just from the text itself too. So we're going to dive right in. Let me pull up. We're going to start at Ephesians 4, verse 1. This is for Brother Raymond. I'm going to read we're going to get through, I have us going through the first person on the second page, but we may just stop on the first page and do the second page next time. Because there's a lot to get to. And starting verse 1, therefore I, the prisoner of the Lord, implore you to walk in the manner worthy of the calling with which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, showing tolerance for one another in love. And the question is, what is the calling which we were called, and what four characteristics must we have to walk worthy of our calling?
What is the calling by which we were called? I think it's the high calling of God toward Jesus Christ. To walk in that path, same as I was praying, that we would walk in the path of Christ, the example that we've been given. And then it says, what four characteristics must we have to walk worthily of our calling? I'm not sure if these are the only four. These are the four that are listed here. Lowliness and gentleness, with long suffering, and bearing with one another in love. Each one of these things has many things that can be said about it. Of course, these are all descriptive of Jesus Christ. Lowliness and the gentleness that he had towards all the lost, to the point where he was willing to give his life on the cross of Calvary. And then I've always loved this word, long suffering. It doesn't describe too many people, you know. It's a goal that you strive towards, you know. We try to be patient. It's our word. I think patience is a slim version of long suffering. It's a start to be long suffering. And of course, I've heard many lessons about being patient, praying for patience. Pray for patience. God will give you some situations that will make you have to practice your patience. But long suffering is definitely a characteristic of God and one to strive for. What does it mean? Well, when I was writing my thing for Wayne, you know, I've known Wayne for about 30 years. I know some people know him a lot longer than that. But I was just kind of recounting some of the things that he's done, and certainly being long suffering is one. I've seen people come and go from this congregation. I've seen him continue to try to minister to them in different ways. I've seen him return after a decade. And that's because you would suffer somebody so long and offer yourself out there to them for so long that they would even feel to be able to return. Anyway, not to dwell on these words too much, but and then bearing with one another in love. I think that's the other thing that it points out. Those are the four things. I think some of the harder things for us to do is to be lowly. Ourself gets in the way, I think, more than any of these other things, that we would consider ourselves to be low, you know, because we certainly do esteem ourselves. I believe everybody does this, some people to more degree than the next. But when we remove ourselves from the equation, that's what lowliness is talking about. and you begin to put other people first. Many principles that we're taught as Christians, easy to say, hard to follow, as always are. Anyway, that's all I have about that.
I agree, and, one of the most interesting things in this, I've heard this before, and we've been more study on it, with the term meekness. You know, when people think meek, they think, they equate weakness, but often brings up, does not mean docile or easy to handle, or even just cooperative, but it's referring to a moral authority, but power when issuing restraint. So you have moral authority and the power to issue that, but Jesus is the most meek being ever, because he had all authority and all power, and yet he showed restraint above all things to use that, even though it would have been justified, to fulfill the Lord's will. So that's something that's very interesting. Meek does not mean weak or docile or easy to handle, but it is a moral authority, but providing restraint. And I think that was something that was very interesting in the meekness category. I'm going to do more study on that, but that may be my favorite word. Yes?
Well, I don't mean to throw Wayne into all this stuff, but, you know, when you think about character of people, that's, I referred to him as a man's man. You know, it wasn't just too long ago, he was describing about how he was in school, and he had a friend that wouldn't allow anybody to pick on him. Y'all remember the story? He had a friend that kind of defended his cause, because I guess there were people that picked on him, some that wouldn't pick on him. And I know in this world, somebody that would be picked on would never be a man's man. But when I'm saying a man's man, I was talking about the things that you just listed. What a man would really want.